to That Wrestling Podcast.
It's That Wrestling Podcast, WrestleMania Night 1 recap pod. It's myself, Joe, and our guest picker from last week for WrestleMania, Greg, also hopping on. It looks like Kevin's hopping on as well. Kev, you are right on time. We are just beginning the post-game show here. Don't know if Jay will be able to hop on or not. He is probably with the other 60,000... Oh,
who?
Excuse
not
me.
Here. He's not here.
Old habits are tough to break, but no, he's earned it with his money.
No, he earned it.
He earned it, literally. The algorithm, Jason, is he's probably, again, leaving Allegiant Stadium as we speak. We'll see if he pops on or not. But it's in the books, guys, and I said what was the first topic? We said, what will have to happen to this WrestleMania to say, like, this is a WrestleMania I loved. And for me, it was I have to fall off the couch. And it didn't happen until Paul did that to Roman. When he did it to Punk, I went, oh, okay. But then when he did it to Roman and the callback to the Shield spot of Seth getting ready to take the chair shot, Roman finally getting his Shield revenge, that it did it for me. So it went off on a high note for me. Greg, you're our special guest. So what's top of mind for you about how night one was?
Yeah, I was main event obviously was awesome.
Yeah.
It told a great story, interested the whole time, never hit any really low points. It was on the up the entire time. Tiffany and Charlotte surprised the heck out of me. I thought it was a very physical match. Tiffany looks like she lost a tooth, busted a tooth, chipped a tooth, something.
There's a lot going on.
I think she earned a lot of respect from a lot of people tonight. I think that maybe she had to take a little medicine for some of the things that she said, and I think she proved that she's tough enough to handle that spot. She did a wonderful job, I thought.
No doubt. Kev, you're rolling in here with the CM Punk shirt, man.
For sure. I had a wardrobe change during the day. I wore my homage, just plain WrestleMania 1 shirt until showtime, and then I had to support. But to kind of piggyback off what Greg mentioned, I think Tiffany proved herself in the locker room and honestly proved that run should now be a lengthy one. Because you're going to have to build something so special to take that title away from her. That's not a Money in the Bank fluke against her. I think she's going to go a long time with that. But broken tooth and all, still looked awesome. I got kind of confused with the color patterns by both females. Like both was like, oh, blue and pink pale versus blue and pink other. It was not contrasting. I was kind of confused when Charlotte busted out the same. I was like, believe me, I'm not one to critique too much on the clothing aspects, right? But I was like, I wonder who decided that. That was kind of odd. But those women, there were some stiff punches on both ends. I think even with the main event, I thought stiff punches on their ends. I think there's just a lot of emotion going into night one, and I think every match wasn't to the caliber of like the main event match, right? The last two matches respectively were two of the best on the card, in my opinion. But I think every match had their highlights, not too many lowlights, and I would say absolutely amazing night number one. Absolutely.
What were your initial thoughts, Joe?
Looking back at the whole thing, I enjoyed every match. Yes, I enjoyed every match.
That's good.
The one that you're all thinking of, Tiffany versus Charlotte, started off a little clunky, right? It just, they didn't have a lot of chemistry starting off with, but towards the end, they both really shined. And I agree with Kevin. I agree with you guys that Tiffy, this could be a lengthy run, but I don't think it needs to be. I think she just needed to win at Mania to prove her spot. She could lose next month, but she had her Mania moment. I think like what was in the running for match of the night, except for the fact that the ending came so quickly, was Jey Uso versus Gunther.
Okay.
That was Rocky 3, like almost like a remake. It was because Jay was standing up, like, I'm not afraid. You ain't so bad. You ain't so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And why didn't he do the fourth turnbuckle?
I agree.
Why did he do 3 and not the fourth one?
Go around the world.
It's like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and
that's a
then
good point.
Gunther tapped out so quickly. So when the main event happened, when Roman had him in the Anaconda device, every time it was happening, I was telling my wife, Gunther would have tapped. Gunther would have tapped. Gunther would have tapped. And then when Seth had him in the sharpshooter, Gunther would be tapping right now. So I enjoyed the entire card. Like every match was entertaining to me. And I tried to stay off of social media and everything altogether because I just wanted to enjoy it for myself. But I did make a mistake in seeing some of it after the Tiffy Charlotte match. And Meltzer was like kind of like really dogging that match. He was saying like it was like a disaster, a train wreck. And I'm like, were you watching the same thing? And I'm not exactly a Charlotte fan. And I was disagreeing. I'm like, were you watching the same thing? I'm like, that was actually good.
Yeah, I think clunky. I know what you're
At the
saying,
beginning.
but like, it's all kind of a weird thing of, well, does that make it seem like more like a fight, more real, that not everything is going to be so smooth, because when you're fighting, it's scrappy, it's messy, it's not perfect. So it's,
I don't know.
it's all subjective, right? I thought overall, going into the main event, I was like, this is fine. I probably would have given, if you're giving me a letter grade, I'd probably give it a C. I was like, all these matches are good. They're all good, but they're not WrestleMania worthy matches. Like, these would be good Raw and SmackDown matches that I'd say, oh, this was good. I really enjoyed LA Knight, Jacob Fatu. That was a lot of fun. The crowd was a nice split. I thought they both shined and had their moments. God, I almost said Chad Gable. My mistake. El Grande Americano. His moonsault, like senton thing that he did.
Yeah, on his back.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
They tried to figure out the degrees for
Yeah.
a good
I
2
think
minutes.
like moonsault
It was a
450
450,
senton. I was
It was
like,
crazy.
I mean, I couldn't believe that. I was like, that's insane. So yeah, I mean, there was highlights throughout, but none of it to me was like getting to that level that I really was hoping for a WrestleMania. I'd say, Tiffany and Charlotte, got a touch higher on that. But yeah, that main event for me, I mean, that's something that I would probably gladly go back and rewatch anytime. It felt big. It played in perfectly with the whole Heyman part when
Like,
Oh, Brian, do you
There
want
he
to
is.
introduce our next guest?
if you're listening to the podcast, then you won't see that the Zoom name title, in all caps with 2 E's, THEE algorithm, has joined us.
by the way, how is that new hoodie?
Pretty awesome. It was really cold in the stadium. That's the only
looks
reason
nice.
I bought one.
Really? Wow.
Real quick. I am boycotting the picks for the rest of the year because, Brian, you fucked up again. I said Seth would pin Roman, and you put on the sheet Seth pins Punk. So
I'll go back and change it. We don't need to boycott. We can.
I don't know, man. This is happening a little too often, more than I like.
Okay, fair enough.
So the fact is, we have a board meeting coming up this week. Is everybody here? Is everybody here?
We're all here. Greg's here. Kev, Joe, me. Yep.
Okay. So the show. Also, I've decided no more West Coast WrestleManias because the sun's out until 8 o'clock at night, and it ruins the whole night. It is not a good look having the sun out during a WrestleMania. It's my second West Coast WrestleMania, and the fact of the matter is, it was boring. It was not good. Not good. The only good thing was the main event because it was in the dark.
That time change is a bitch.
I see where you're coming from on that one. Okay.
Because I'm right. That's why. Did
Well,
Joe agree?
No, we didn't freeze. I'm just saying, like,
Nope.
where you were at, it's a different story because we didn't notice. Like on TV, we don't notice that the sun's out because it was an indoor stadium. But being
you
there,
couldn't tell that it was light out.
well, you could tell, but it was bright, but it wasn't distracting.
No.
Yeah, it seemed just like regular stadium lights. You couldn't really tell a big difference on TV.
Yeah.
When they took that wide shot and you could see the top of the roof, you could see that it was still light out. But for most of the show, you could never tell that it was the stadium has that open roof or the clear roof that it has.
Gotcha.
Greg, are
you reporting from the U.S. Open?
Yeah. Well, so the boys' room is close to our office, and they're eagerly waiting a visit from the Easter Bunny, so we don't want to wake them up. So I am downstairs in our dining room tonight.
My seats, they were in 413. They were pretty good. Like I said, Brian, I sent Brian a photo. It looks further away in the photo than it was sitting at the seats. So it was really good. I mean, I'm not complaining.
Good.
My wife has constantly been looking for better tickets for tomorrow. So
well, they got seats on the stage now. Just get one of those.
That is.
Yeah,
I looked those up. I tried to find
those up.
It's like a lounge. It's the craziest thing. So I've reached out to my contact about that, or they had seats on top of the ramp.
Yes.
Or on top of the stage. It's crazy.
Yeah. Pretty wild.
It wasn't a good show. Night one was not as good as it was supposed to be.
Okay.
It wasn't. It just wasn't. Matches were weak. The lights, the fans weren't really into it.
Okay. I wondered about the fans.
Wrestling fans are the worst. I'll get more into that Thursday. Brian, board meeting is on Wednesday. You're up for potential sanctions.
It's a performance review. I get it.
Yeah, it's been 4 years. So there is a problem here. So yeah,
I'll go back. I'll check the tape, and we'll make corrections if needed. And
technically,
we'll apologize to you and to the universe. Yeah,
I'll even chime in. I'll take the beating. I'll take the Charlotte.
We'll have to check Kevin's grid. That's true.
Kevin, did you fuck up too?
Well, no, technically, I think we'll have to go back on the replay. I'm pretty sure I said everybody's pin and who got pinned, and nobody chimed in. That'll
be my exhibit A for my review. It'll be Kevin's sheet says this.
Bonus question: who was right?
Me. Yeah, so I'm contemplating boycotting the picks for the rest of the year. So
okay,
I gotta go.
Shockingly, Jason. Shockingly, algorithm. I think it's actually my fault that the confusion happened because I interrupted Kevin, and that's when he started yelling at me. When you were talking, because you were talking
like
about
when mom and dad
Roman
fight. It makes everything awkward.
You said Roman was about to be one step away from bum ass Corbin,
and guess what?
I was disagreeing with you.
He is one. He is now bum ass Roman. This whole year, ever since he lost the title last year, it's been downhill from there. Everything he says has no meaning anymore. Everything
the Jordan boots did look good.
The Jordan boots look good.
The Jordan boots did look good.
They did.
Yeah, that is very cool. So I gotta go.
All right, buddy.
Maybe tomorrow night. Maybe you'll see me in row.
Row stage right, or whatever it is,
or maybe row 3 to get that chair. So, all right, guys.
Are you headed to Wrestlemania After Dark now?
That's in my room. So.
Oh,
whoa! Wow!
Before you go, show us
that's
the back
real
of that
biggest
hoodie.
party of the year.
In
my pants.
All right. What happens in Vegas, baby? He doesn't stay in Vegas.
What happens in Vegas goes on the podcast.
That's right.
And in my pants. See ya.
We need waist up. Yep.
Oh, wow.
See, Greg, this is what happens when, one of us gets dogged, we all take the blame for it. Yeah. So it's the board meeting doesn't have to happen. Kevin took responsibility. I took responsibility. So Jason doesn't have a leg to stand on in that one.
I won't lie. I swear I repeated that shit at the end.
You did.
No, Joe. After that,
right,
like the last thing,
because I was getting mad at Jason when he was calling Roman Corbin, and I'm like, no, and then we started arguing, so it was like, okay, this could be my fault too.
Well, I had to
We'll just blame
rewatch the
Greg.
podcast.
Greg, what
You know
do
what?
you
It's
do?
Greg's fault.
I thought I had to rewatch the podcast because I saw the pics on the Facebook page, and I was like, "Did I really say that Roman was going to pin Punk?" And I was like, "I don't think I said that," and I totally did because I rewatched it. But I had something else that I was thinking before that, and I don't know what made me change it. So I'm like, I don't think. But then I looked. I'm like, oh yeah, I 100% said that.
Wow. There's a lot to keep track of. So it's mistakes could have been made.
But like I said on the text message, the Tiffy Charlotte match, no matter what, I won.
That's what. When Tiffany won, I said, "Joe, you won. You're happy right now." And I would have probably said the same thing if Charlotte would have won. So
I know I sent Jessica the coffee pic again, going like, "Remember when Tiffy had all her teeth?"
That's right. Oh my God. She'll need to go see Roman's dentist. His teeth were bright white today.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice that? I was
like,
God damn. I was like, God damn.
That's probably why Jason thought the sun was out. Roman was smiling too much.
Yeah, we all pointed that out. I was over at Matt's house with a couple other guys watching that, and we're like, "Damn, Roman, those teeth." I don't know, guys. I mean, I know, Kevin, you've sent the pics of night one, and I'm not too worried about that because we're gonna have all tomorrow to then like kind of see where things shake out. But I didn't think there was anything too surprising.
I don't think so.
You know, I thought Charlotte and Tiffany was a toss-up coin flip. Could have gone either way. Wouldn't have been surprised if Charlotte had won. You know, Jacob Fatu winning, not a surprise because he's fantastic. And Jade winning. I mean, I thought she and Naomi did very well for their spot as well. So yeah, I mean, Jay's obviously have a little different perspective being in the building and that whole experience. But you know, like I said earlier, I didn't think it was, you know, WrestleMania standard worthy until we got to that main event.
I think I wrote it in the text too. I couldn't remember if I wrote it to you guys or my buddy Scott, but who's a fellow hard rock metal guy. Naomi's new music is great.
You sent us too.
I need to actually look into maybe who did it because, you know, sometimes they go, oh, it could be We Came as Romans. Who, you know what I mean? Like a smaller band. Hey, props to her. No Smiles, throwback. I don't know, or shout out to Owen Hart with the caution tape. I thought if that's a keeper for a while, or maybe it was just maybe she's a fan of Owen Hart and no one knew. Even with the loss, I'm glad the attitude is still gonna remain. I thought that match at times got a little clunky. Maybe I think both ladies were just fixing their outfits a lot. So maybe I am critiquing too many of the outfits tonight. But I thought
too, though. Yeah.
After a few minutes when they realized, okay, let's not be cutesy stuff on the wrestling moves. Let's actually throw some punches at each other, right? I think they got into their rhythm. But I think that one, maybe in the first 2 minutes, it seemed a little off, I think. But I'm glad it lasted for as long as it did because I thought both ladies looked great.
I felt like Naomi was the MVP of the night.
She was
because
really good.
she had to slow her offense and defense down a lot for Jade. Like, Jade is strong. We can all agree with that. Like, her catching Naomi while she was jumping off the ropes, very impressive.
Yeah, that was great.
But there were a lot of times twice. But there were a lot of times where like Jade wasn't ready in the spot and Naomi had to slow down.
Okay. I think I remember one of those moments.
Like, she did it like I think I remember, like, you know, my wife and I were counting it, like it was at least 3 times where Jade was a little bit slower and Naomi was in the spot ahead of time. And it kind of took away from the match. And I'm like, so when it all ended, I was just like, MVP of the night was Naomi. She really carried that match as the veteran of the match. And Jessica's response was, maybe she needs to get thrown into a car again to get some more training.
You could definitely tell that Naomi was calling that match the entire time.
Probably so.
And there was one spot when they were on the ropes and they were setting up or something, you could definitely see her like directing Jade on what to do. But overall, I thought for Jade's first WrestleMania match, I thought it was a pretty decent match for those two
her first singles match.
First singles match.
Yeah,
that's
last
right.
year she was on the card, but this was the first singles match.
First singles match. You're right. Yep.
Yeah. Some other little observations. I definitely thought Jey Uso was nervous, like going into he just didn't seem to be like the Jey Uso yeet character so much. But was he just being super serious, and I wasn't getting it. And to me, it came across being nervous.
I took it as he was focused.
Yeah. Okay.
He had a mission in mind, and again, he was Rocky at the end of Rocky 3. That was his spot.
Mm-hmm.
He set it up on Monday where I'm not afraid anymore, or 2 Mondays ago. And then like the whole match, like anytime, like at the beginning when he took the first slap, he didn't fall down. Just like when,
right.
just like when Rocky got hit by Clubber Lang, it's like, is that all you got? Hit me harder, harder,
Mm-hmm.
harder. So Jimmy was Rocky 4. Jay was Rocky 3.
Correct.
And in Rocky 3, Rocky lost to Clubber Lang badly, and Mickey died in front of him. So it's like it told that story, which is fine because I love that movie. So I was really impressed with that match until the tap.
Yeah, it was just too quick.
It was too quick.
Way too quick. I don't, you could have him pass out, or he can fight for half a minute, and that's fine.
It took away from Gunther's reign to
It was
tap out that quickly.
It was like 5 seconds, it felt like.
Because Jay was in the same move, and he was on there he held it for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, Gunther did even Jay was reaching for the ropes, and he grabbed his hand and pulled it away. I remember seeing that going, oh, that was so smart. So smart.
I didn't like it. This is like nitpicking.
Yeah,
but I didn't like at the beginning of that match when Alicia Taylor fist bumped Jay. Like
I didn't catch that.
I think she does a great job. I know that she gets a lot of flack for people saying that she wants to be Samantha Irvin, but I just didn't like that aspect of it. Like, you're there to be part of the show, not in the show. And I think it took a little bit away from Jay, who I thought was so focused at first, but then he does that, and I felt like it took away a little bit.
Gotcha. Okay.
But on Gunther too, the tap out was ridiculously quick. Like like you said, it ruined his title run. He was this monster when he was the IC champ, and then they fall back. Jay's on his back. He has him in the move, and he taps out quickly.
Like, I want to say it was like 15 seconds.
Oh shit! When he got put
that's
into
how quick it was. Okay.
I want to say it was about 15 seconds until he tapped out. Maybe 30.
I think it was 5.
Wow, yeah.
But
15
and 5, I mean, it's still way too quick.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think the point is we all
instant.
We all thought it was quick.
Too quick.
No matter what it was. I think that was a pretty universal sentiment from the fans going, wow, that was quick. Didn't like how that went down. Don't know where Lex Luger was. We made
the Lex Express in front of the palace.
Yeah, we made the joke the Lex Express had to keep on rolling. Rental was due for that. I don't know where Lex was for the Hall of Fame.
Well, like, I think it was like this. He stood up last night, right?
Sure.
I don't think he wanted to be carted out on the stage.
Maybe,
and
but yeah,
like,
I didn't hear him be mentioned at all. Like,
they
just announced the Hall of Famers.
Yeah, he wasn't even mentioned.
But I didn't even hear Cole and shout out to Lex Luger, who isn't with us tonight, another worthy Hall of Famer. But it was just, I don't know. No, it could be something, could be nothing. What other things?
I think the last time a Hall of Famer didn't show up on the WrestleMania night was, besides Kid Rock, was Bret Hart.
Oh, right. Yeah. He went to the Hall and he didn't go to Mania.
Right.
That's right.
But I think if I had to take a guess, if I had to make an inference on this one, it's probably because he didn't want to be wheeled out.
Yeah, it could be. Absolutely. Kev, I know you want to talk about, you did a quick
I did.
surveillance on the picks. Let's hear about this.
I did. So,
breaking news.
Okay, I'm going to press the play button.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my. All right, let's find out. Yeah.
If you can, I'm going to ad-lib it. He is wrong, just as a heads up. But I think it was what he wanted to say didn't come out of his mouth. But the wording is, you'll see.
Step to bum-ass Roman. Seth pins Punk.
He said it.
Okay, hold up. Now keep listening, and I think this is what's going to be in his last thing. Watch.
Roman loses again. We don't see him for a while. So, yeah.
So
As you
technically,
mentioned-
he picked Punk, and Roman did lose, but he didn't get pinned.
He didn't get pinned. Yeah.
So
Wow.
I think what he really thought he said was Roman got pinned, and he maybe it was the can't believe people call him CM type thing, right? Or maybe he had CM in his brain because somebody else said CM. I think multiple people said CM in different situations before. So I think he thinks he said what he didn't, but when he said it was just a kind of a confusing thing. So
Well, more breaking news. My performance review has been canceled. Thank you very much. Real quick note, this was before the show. WWE has bought the legendary Mexican promotion AAA.
Yes.
There's Vikingo, and he's in the crowd. He kicked Grande Americano. So, whoa, that's a pretty big deal just because of the landscape of the business wise. Any initial thoughts on that, guys, real quick?
I thought maybe when he ran down some of the best luchadors in the world, where was El Grande Americano in the back, right? No, all joking
Surprising,
aside,
yeah.
I thought it was very cool having, the president of AAA and different people that personally I didn't know who they were, and they just seemed so happy to be in the partnership situation, just talking about the 30 plus years of the legacy, and then Triple H rolling down, right? The roster, and then Vikingo is right there smack dab in the middle. By the way, I saw him on the Jericho Cruise last year. Very cool live. And I think, Bri, we saw him at GCW, right? Was it GCW?
I don't think I was there. I saw
Okay.
him at TNA back in the fall.
But I thought it was very cool. And then him getting a little in the ring thing, helping Ray Phoenix
Yeah.
after
cool.
he, got knocked out. I thought that was very cool. But the press conference, that was my surprise of the night, or surprise of the day, because there wasn't anything too much in Mania, right? That said like, ooh, would it put it over the top? So when you sent the text, that's when I started watching the pre-show about an hour and a half. So I saw that kind of right when I turned it on. So thanks for sending that text. I thought it was very cool, very classy.
Yeah. Guys,
I think my initial reaction to it was, man, I wish we still had the WWE network. That was my initial reaction, because I'm like, buying up these companies would make more sense if you had your own network. But you're part of Peacock, and it's like Netflix.
Kind of there, kind of not.
It's kind of there. It's kind of not. I like the Worlds Collide is happening with NXT. Kind of takes away the forbidden door. But at least they're going to, like, I believe in the company and the fact that they're going to make both sides look good. Kind of like the NXT TNA relationship. It's like it wasn't just one-sided.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was my reaction, was I wish we still had the network.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll still integrate Rey Mysterio matches from '94 or whatever. Like that'll be in that library.
And I know Kevin wants to see Conan.
I know.
Oh yeah.
Telling you, man, I have a shop for that WWEshop.com Conan shirt.
Oh,
throwback.
The K-Dog.
It does exist in some countries, though, right? WWE Network.
I think just a couple. Yeah.
I thought it finally closed because of Netflix.
I think there's a few.
I thought Netflix was the nail in the
but
coffin.
Yeah, it's not. If there is, it's not much of anything, from what I understand.
WWE's been doing a great job with the Vault on YouTube.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe hopefully some stuff will pop up on there to get fans more familiar with what is happening with this. And I thought it was a pretty well kept secret. No, I didn't hear a peep about this in a time where you get information pretty quickly. It was truly breaking news when it happened. So it was a very cool surprise to have on WrestleMania weekend.
We've got about 5 minutes left before the recording cuts off, guys. So quick round the horn thoughts. I got who do I got? I got 4 questions for each of you that are like 1 or 2 word answers. I'll start with you, Greg. Your grade for tonight. Who's Randy's opponent tomorrow? Who's Lyra's tag partner? And will we get The Rock tomorrow? Grade for tonight, number one.
For WrestleMania, it's a B. If it would have been a Raw or SmackDown, it would have been an A. But I think this is a B WrestleMania.
Okay. And then you got Randy's opponent is?
I think it's Rusev.
Okay. Becky, or I think it just gave my way. Lyra's tag partner is?
You answered for me, Becky.
Yep, okay.
Yep, like Big E.
Well, it looks like the performance review's back on for giving away the answers. And then do we get The Rock tomorrow?
Yes, yeah. I think he shows up.
Joe, go ahead.
My grade for tonight was a B.
Okay.
Randy's opponent. Randy's opponent. I'm going to say Rusev, but I'm hoping for Joe Hendry. I know they're saying he's injured, but I don't care. And Becky will be the countryman. Big E gave it away in the pre-show. Fellow countryman. And then The Rock will show up tomorrow night. He has to. It's like makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. Kev?
Yeah, I say B. I think tomorrow on paper has the ability to be an A, but tonight I go B. Opponent, I'll go Nick Aldis.
Okay.
I'll go Chelsea Green. I think
that would be so great.
It would be amazing. And honestly, I think she could take the pin and not hurt if Lyra took the pin. I feel like if they retain and Rock 100%.
Cool. Yeah, I'll go B minus is my grade. I was going like straight C, and then the main event puts it up into the B category. Yeah, my hope for Randy's opponent was Riddle. You know, like how cool Blast from the Past that never got settled. Randy got hurt, and then Riddle got gone from the company.
Bro.
So boy, I would pop big for that. But I'll also say Rusev just for logical purposes. But let's go Riddle. And then Becky's I gave that away. I have to stick with that. And yeah, I think we'll get The Rock tomorrow, just because you just think it has to be that way. It's been very weird that we haven't really heard a peep from anything Rock. You don't expect him to be on all that much, but we've gotten zero of anything. So he'll make his presence felt tomorrow, and what surely will be a memorable night 2 of WrestleMania 41. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll do this again tomorrow night, I believe. And everybody, I hope you enjoyed WrestleMania Night 1. We'll do it again tomorrow for Night 2. And, of course, later on in the week for all things wrestling on That Wrestling Podcast. For Kevin's here, Joe, Greg, and for the appearance of The Algorithm, gotta say it right, I'm Brian. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And, as always, enjoy wrestling.
Thanks for listening. Follow That WrestlePod on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
1, 2, 3, that's it!